Why no content? Why would you not become the TikTok guy? The world is right. Have you been to my seminar?
Yes.
Content is king, baby.
You are right. I could. I don't know. Maybe I will.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flip Lifestyle Podcast. It is great to be back with you again today. Super excited to talk to another amazing member of the Flip Lifestyle community. And I love this guy so much. I love his family because this is a Flip Lifestyle Hall of Famer in the house. This is a guy that actually comes out on the road with me when I do my live events. It is the one, the only Daniel Whitworth. What's up, Daniel?
Hey, man. Good to see you. Thanks for having me on here.
It's good to kick Jocelyn and Nicole out of the room so we can just hang out for a little while.
That's right.
We need
some cigars is what we need right now.
We should have. Oh my! Why did we not do that? We totally
because we don't want our office to smell like cigar smoke. That's
right. That's true. That's true. So we need to get like a group of guys together that we road warrior with, that we entrepreneur with, and we need to have a cigar Flip Lifestyle podcast. Yes. We need to get Steven. We need to get you. We need to get a couple other Joe Bazeko. We need to get some guys out there and have that podcast, man. But
Sam,
I guess Sam Feeney in here. That's what I'm talking about. But let's talk about you real quick because you got some cool things going on. We're actually going to hit a topic today that we've never talked about on the Flip Lifestyle podcast. And that's, once you build an online business that's successful, that's creating income, that's providing that flip lifestyle, these skills can translate and all of a sudden you can spin off other businesses. I know since the very beginning of our journey, me and Jocelyn, once we hit that lotto ticket of the one new business that worked, we were like, oh my gosh, we can repeat this. And we've had multiple businesses our entire journey over the last decade as online entrepreneurs. So real quick, tell me about you and then tell me about what you're doing online now. And then we'll kind of backtrack through that to get everybody caught up.
So my wife, Nicole, and I, we started a business almost 3 years ago now, Your Nursing Tutor. And we actually she tried it as a hobby for many years, never made any money. And then we're like, we did the crazy thing where like we quit our jobs and sold our house and had a bunch of savings to live off of. And like, hey, let's make this online business thing work.
Hey, let's force our back against the wall and give ourselves no chance but to succeed or starve. Right. Burn the boats, baby.
And by the way, we do have 6 kids that are all young, but that's beside the point.
No, that is the point, dude. What are you talking about?
So we a couple months into it, we actually decided to sign up for Shane's. It was like his last roundtable before he started going on the road, but it was a huge chunk of change for us. But at the time, like, I just really believed it was our best chance to actually make this succeed. Because we tried things. We're both smart. We both have college degrees, but how are we going to figure this out? Right. And within 6 months with Shane's coaching, we built a business that over 100 members making a full-time income, tutoring nursing students. And it's been an incredible journey since then. Ups and downs, talk about a learning curve out of this world.
You ever seen that? You ever seen the entrepreneur? There's like a meme where it says like the entrepreneur journey. And it's like this zigzagging up and down roller coaster. And like at the top, it's like, I know what I'm doing. And at the bottom, it's like, I'm the stupidest person alive.
Yes.
And then it's like, I'm making tons of money. And then at the bottom, it's like, where did all my money go? Exactly. And it's just like, and at the end, it's like, I'm a good entrepreneur.
Yeah. That's exactly what it's like. And so we definitely the ups and downs. Getting to go on the road with you, that was such a blessing. And
for those of you who may not know, we Jocelyn and I basically started a seminar company. We wanted to travel around the country, and we wanted to go around and just meet people in person and help them live on air. So I actually recruited my best students. See, that's the beauty about being in the Flip Lifestyle community. When you're in the Flip Lifestyle community, it's a family. And when we have opportunities, we're like, you know what? Who do we want to go on the road with us? So we called you guys up really early. You might have been literally the first students.
We were one of the first. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was like, you guys got to come out on the road with us. And then we just all got stuck in this vortex of airplanes and hotels for like 3 straight years. But it was a blast. It was so good. Yeah, I miss it. Honestly, I really do. But it's coming back. 2024. Yes. 2024. Yes. It's coming back. We got some. And
so we're doing that. And just that's the thing about the online business that we've learned is you just got to try different things over and over. Nothing stays the same. We're constantly tweaking, constantly growing. This is what I coach people to do. But here's where I come in. So initially, this was more Nicole's thing, right? She's the nurse. She's the one that knows how to tutor people. Initially, when she got the coaching from me, I wasn't involved. I was playing the stay-at-home dad thing, which is a whole nother story. But while we started doing these road trips, and every time I heard the spiel about your idea and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, what's my idea? What am I doing?
Hold on. So basically, what happened was, so Nicole starts this thing. You're doing the dad thing. She's building the business. Then you kind of get sucked in because you're like an expert at building systems.
A tech person. So I started automating things and doing a lot of administrative stuff for her, but I wasn't the actual tutor, obviously.
And then, then you come out on the road, and every weekend you're hearing me go, all right, guys, we're going to find your idea for an online business.
Yes.
And so at some point it clicked, like, wait a minute. Why am I not doing a second business right now?
Exactly. Hey, and I'm just
guys, I'm so good at seminaring that I can convince my team to start new businesses. That's pretty good. Guys
you totally have a business. Every single event, I'm just like, what is my idea? What do I want to do? And I tried something like I did like a dad of ages thing where I was, I'll do a business about being a dad. And that kind of fizzled. And then just, about a month ago, it just occurred to me like, dude, you are an expert at tech. Like you half the coaching calls I do, I'm walking them through like how to set up their domain and their email and all that. And then one of the coaching clients we had, it really kind of sparked it where she had this like Frankenstein setup using different people from Fiverr to do like a ClickFunnels, MailChimp, Google Sheets, Twilio.
I don't even know what Twilio is. What is Twilio?
It's a text messaging service that's designed for developers. Anyway, so she's like, it wasn't working. Can you fix it? And it's like, yeah, pay me and I'll do it. And I hopped in there and I was able to turn what was like from the Fiverr people, like this 15-step where you log into Zapier and do this, that, and the other thing. And then you can send out a mass text message. And I turned it into just open this spreadsheet and type it in and click send.
Oh, man. Dude. Yeah. And for those who may not know this too, like Daniel and Nicole actually also do coach in Flip Lifestyle. They're two of our coaches because we only let people who have been through our program and have succeeded coach our students. And then our people like do a lot of different things. Like there's a lot of things at Flip Lifestyle we don't do. Like we're basically the strategy and the tactics of growing an audience, building your business and doing things like that. But all these people have different skill sets. And Daniel actually has a lot of hands-on stuff. I don't even know how you do half the stuff you did when you were managing the rooms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me go back up just a second. What I love about that, starting a second business is a big deal. But if you're a couple out there, I mean, it's really cool because you each can kind of have your own thing. And what Jocelyn and I have really learned is you really need your own thing. You've got to have your own thing because eventually it just gets bogged down and you get too in the minutia together in one business and you need kind of some space. Jocelyn can't tell anybody what it is right now, but this is the first time I mention it. Jocelyn might be having a new podcast coming out soon.
Ooh,
Jocelyn might be, there's some big things happening over here. I have no doubt it's going to be bigger than anything I've ever built. So I'm just saying our wives are pretty smart. But like, take me back. Like you went into dad of ages. And it didn't really work like you wanted it to. But how valuable was that to try something and it not kind of work to kind of get on your feet to kind of get that second business off? Because I know that like our journey looked like this. I started 3 businesses and they didn't work. Jocelyn starts Elementary Librarian and I kind of just gave her all the cliff notes and she was able to launch that in like a month. That worked. Then I tried one other thing that did not work. It's funny you did that because one of the things I did was called Dad's. No one knows. I don't think I've ever talked about this in 1,000 episodes of the show. It was called Dad's Home Gym.
Okay.
And it was basically about me working at a home as an entrepreneur, as a dad. And like I had an awesome logo. I was so proud of this logo. It looked like, you know how like when your kids are little, you can grab them and you can spin them.
Yeah.
And and one is on each arm. I had that up, but it looked like I was curling them.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was like I was curling my kids.
The kids.
Dad's home gym. That's perfect, right?
Love it.
And but I started that, but like it was funny because it reminded me after one thing worked, it reminded me of all the things that didn't work. And then everything we did after that worked again. So how did stepping out with Dad of Ages kind of show you what you were doing, what didn't work? Like, tell me about that experience.
So that experience was kind of like just kind of figuring out what I want to do for one. And what's cool is like, since we've run a business now, we started a business and we've coached other people on doing business. Like we know how to do this. It's so much easier. We know how to set up a website and do all the little things that need to be done to have it built. And we also know how to market, right? And that's the biggest thing. And so I started doing a podcast, and ultimately it wasn't so much that it didn't work. It's just that I realized I didn't really want to do that. You know,
that's huge. Yeah, man.
And so I had interviewed several dads, and that's the cool, as I had the freedom to do that. One, because we have an online business, right? And I know the tools, and it's easy to set it all up because I've done it before. Is I was able to experiment with that for like a few months and just realized, no, this isn't what I really want to do. And then and what the beauty is like, that was kind of like the first attempt on my part to have something that was just mine. Because the nursing thing is mainly Nicole's, even though obviously we work on it together.
Sure.
But I wanted something that was like, this is what I'm doing. I'm not just working on Nicole's thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
identity. And like, what's funny about that is people always ask, like, not ask, it's people are always hesitant to start either their first business or their second business because they're afraid it won't work, or they're afraid whatever. But like, this is something new that Jocelyn and I have been doing lately. And it's kind of what led to her new idea is we stopped asking, what do we want? I think that's a very bad question. All entrepreneurs, every mastermind you walk into, they ask that stupid question, what do you want? Let me tell you something, people. I'm 45 years old. I wake up every day and I have no clue what I want still. And I've got a lot of stuff, right? And I've done a lot of things, but I still wake up every day not knowing that. But what we ask now, me and Jocelyn started asking, well, what are you curious about? Because if you ask that question, what am I curious about? It gives you permission to go be curious, to study, to research, to try something. And you're just kind of like, I'm curious about starting my own thing. I'm curious about dad of ages. I'm a dad. I got 6 kids. Let's go talk about that for a while. You get to do it with curiosity, and you realize, I don't want that. Like, that's something I don't want. However, I figured out some things I did want to do. Like, I know how I want to start my website. I know what I want it to look like. Or maybe I picked out some colors for my logo that I'll use on my next business. And you get some pieces for the thing that moves you toward what you actually want, right? Yeah. And the fastest way to get what you want is to do something. Not to do what you want, is to do something. And you did that, and that kind of pushed you forward. You realized, I can set up systems really quick. Why don't I just do that for people? You know? Yeah,
you're absolutely right. And for a long time, I did kind of wait, like you're describing there, where it's just like, well, I do it, but it just, you're right. Just step out and do something, because there's no harm in trying. And especially there's the freedom, because we already have a successful business that's making the
second
money.
Business. You should throw as much mud on the wall. Like, I throw crap. I buy domains so much, and I'll throw random little things out. Like, I'll go start a random Facebook group just to see if anybody will join it. Like, if you've got money in the bank and you got money rolling in, just go build the next thing. Who cares if it works or not? There's no pressure on it, right?
Right. And it can be fun, and there's no pressure. And not only that, I'm also the kind of person that I like to build things. I don't like to manage them. This is why the tech thing is very much up my alley. Is like, I fix your problem, I build it for you, and then I hand it off.
Right. I don't have to deal with it.
That's right. Right. Yeah, that's right.
So the new thing. What's your website that you're doing this? Is it like
it's just my name, DanielWhitworth.com.
Awesome. DanielWhitworth.com. So this is very much like is this more of a service-based thing that you're building? Or is it more consulting?
Right. I would call it consulting and service. It's like a done for you and a done with you type of thing. It really depends on what your situation is. For some people, it can be as simple as like, I just helped someone set up their domain in Kajabi and then also do a Google Workspace email. Like, I can do that for you, or I can walk you through it. Or there's someone else that I might be building and helping build an entire website with automations and things like that. And so it's a both and. It's like, let's sit down and talk about what it is you're trying to do. What are you already doing? What's not working? How do you want to, and then I can talk about, how can I streamline this for you? Here's some tools that I know about that I can integrate and work together and build a system so that you don't have to do all these 10 different things. And you got the data coming to you that you need, your emails are going out, all that kind of stuff that you need to do. I can build a system for you, but it's a conversation. And it's also doing for.
Just because I know you so well now, like, because we're friends, like, it's very interesting to hear like how businesses and how you can build the business that you want and how that evolves. Because like, when we were on the road together, like, you're the most hands-on about all of us. Like, you're just like, you want to be in the thick of like setting everything up, making sure it works. If it's broke, fix it, like, and get that done. And like, and when you realize that you can translate that into an online business. Like I can still do this from home or anywhere. I just need my Zoom account. I just need to be able to log into their systems. I just need to be able to do all those things. Then you can go out and you can build literally a business that you can do anytime you want, whenever you want. And it's so funny, but like the 6 kids things, like I that's a running joke in all of my presentations when I talk about you. Well, one of the things I say about you guys, which you're in the room, the people listening aren't though, is, I always say, literally when I'm pitching my stuff for sale, I'm like, listen, this is Daniel and Nicole Whitworth. They have 6 kids. If you have less than 6 kids, you have less excuses than Daniel and Nicole Whitworth, because you guys had to figure out how to get everything like streamlined. You had to figure out how to get the 10 buttons to 1 button because your time is so pressed, right? So like to be able to free up someone with 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 kids or no kids from their stress probably feels like to them like they're on vacation after you get done like with their business,
Yeah, that's the idea, is that I'm what's called a lazy engineer. The lazy engineer is the best kind because everything I do is to make my life easier.
That's exactly right, dude.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly right, man.
I will work for 10 straight hours to turn a 2-minute job into 1 minute.
I know you turned a lot of our 10-hour jobs into 1 minute. We got setting up the room from about 6 hours at our seminars to about a 30-minute deal after Daniel got a hold of everything. I love this direction for you. It so fits your personality. It's such an easy thing to fit, like also too within your life. Because one, when you're personally involved, and this is kind of where people should go after they start one online business. Like I always want my students' first online business. Nothing's passive. I hate that word. Now I'm trying to get away from it. Nothing's passive, but I want them to get to the place where everything's under control. Their life is what they want. I want it to be based on on-demand trainings and community. That way the community can support their students together and they've got on-demand. So you can turn it off. You can say, hey, this is going to run when I'm not sitting there in front of my computer. It's fine. I can work my 4 hours, 5 hours, and then I can just go about my business. But I see a lot of people go this route. They really start leaning into their strengths, their benefits, the things they love with their business. Like what I'm doing right now is this story pitch thing that I've started created. I've realized, like, I don't really, this is going to sound horribly arrogant, but I don't care. Like I've realized that like not any people don't know how to tell their story correctly. They just don't. And they especially don't know how to tell their story correctly if they're going to sell something at the end of their story. And, after 3 or 4 years on the road, doing speaking, stadiums, webinars for a decade, like all this, and everyone just kept telling me like, holy crap, I've never heard anybody do it that way. And I was like, maybe I should totally tell people how to, because that's where I geek out. Like, why have I done 1,000 Flip Lifestyle podcasts? So I can tell 1,000 different stories and pull that out of people. Right. So I'm leaning into my time for dollar business where I'm one-on-one in the trenches with people is now over at shanesams.com. I'm doing the story pitch thing. Right. And you're leaning into these strengths and things like, oh, this is flow time. This is when I'm in flow. Hey, I know. I remember what I was going to say a minute ago. Have you ever taken the wealth dynamics test? Did I make you guys take that?
I have not.
I've got to get you to take that. It's like a personality test. It's based on the Myers-Briggs assessments of like, it's got a lot of DNA of there of like, like the ENFP and INTJ and all that. But it's better because it's made for entrepreneurs and it's made for entrepreneurs working in team settings.
Okay.
And it's the coolest thing ever. Our team uses it. I love it. It's a little woo-woo, like there's a little Eastern philosophy in it, right? Yeah. Which is totally my jam as well. And so it's got like, there's all these like Japanese and Eastern concepts.
I've been working with Cliff Ravenscraft and so
all about Akagi and all that good stuff, right? Yeah, man. But like it's we love you, Cliff. And but like what it does is like there's one of the people on the square is called a mechanic. And it's what you described, the lazy engineer was perfect. It's the person who comes into an existing system, totally makes it efficient and better, and then moves on to the next thing.
Leaves. That's right.
Right. And that's what's called the mechanic. But like when you lean into that personality type, everyone wants to quit their job and play golf. And then when you get there, you're miserable and depressed. No, what you want is you want to find something you're so in flow with, that you love so much, that you have identity with, that you're into. Like you get up every day excited to do those things. Right. Yeah. And I love that you guys are going that direction. So let's talk about the marketing part. Let's talk about growing this, because I think everybody out there listening would probably love to add at least a service to their existing online business, or if they're successful, start a second business. So like, where are we at? What's going on? Is it just a website right now? I know you got some clients.
Let me tell you just a little bit about a grander vision for this that I have is that this is also a way to get my kids involved, right? I want to teach them how to do this tech stuff. And so eventually over time, as they learn, doing some of the simple things, is like, I want them to be my team. And so right now it's going to be like, hey, book a call with me and we'll talk about your system. I'll build something for you. But in the meantime, I'm going to be teaching my older kids like how to do certain things and eventually launch another business, like a side business to this, where they're the ones doing tech stuff for people.
Wow. Right? Yeah.
So
or it could just be this, and they could be like your virtual assistants.
They're my VAs. Right? Yeah. So they're learning some of the tasks that, yeah, that's a big part of it too.
Because it doesn't make sense that they would, like, the Nicole's business is like kind of streamlined and like it's just going to be what it is. Like there's not really a place for them to do a lot there. But you could teach them things like, hey guys, over here we're working in Kajabi. I'm building this automation for this email list. I want you to go put it in all these sequences for me.
Exactly. Or editing videos or things like that. That it's this kind of sort of busy work, but it's learning a trade. It's learning tech stuff, which is going to serve them well in the long run, even if they don't go into a career.
Huge like tax benefits to them, because you can actually,
and then I can pay them. That's right. Yeah. Exactly. Because that's been a struggle, is figuring out how we're going to pay our kids. Because with the other businesses, like, what can they honestly do? Yeah. But with this one, you can totally give them jobs. Yeah, because like for everybody out there that's, if you're looking to save money on taxes, like if you can pay your kids and you can actually give them meaningful work, like our Isaac and Anna Joe have meaningful work in our business, that we pay a fair wage to them that we would pay to someone else to do tasks. And what happens is, like, basically, like if you end up growing your online business, and let's say that you end up in the 30% tax bracket or whatever with your income, you need to move some income around, but you can move it. There's a lot of setup for this. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a lawyer. So, but like basically what you do is you set up all these systems, and like, let's say that I think it's $12,000 before you get taxed or something like that. Yep. So you can pay your kid $12,000, like $1,000 a month. They work X hours. And what happens is they don't get taxed on that. So instead of if you keep that $24,000 to yourself, you're going to get taxed at that 30% bracket. But if you can pay them, they get taxed at a lower bracket. Right. So what happens is, then you get to teach your kids responsibility. Like my kids have checkbooks and debit cards. So like when they buy, you can't do like room and board. You have to take care of your kids. You can't charge your kids rent. No, you can't.
Heathens out there. But what you can do is they can pay for things like their extracurricular activities. Like Isaac does jujitsu. He can write the $100 a month check for jujitsu, and they get to learn how to use money a little bit younger.
Yeah. So that's all part of the grander vision of this is to do that. Amazing.
So how are you growing it right now? I mean, how are you doing some things?
Right now, I had an existing coaching client that needed work, and then I posted something on Facebook. I had a few friends, and I got a few jobs from that. I have a colleague that is a network connection that I'm actually going to be probably doing a job with them soon. So it's mostly word of mouth at this point in time. What I don't really want to do is become like a TikTok star about this kind of stuff. I would prefer it to be about networking, that sort of thing. I did join BNI. And so that's one avenue I'm taking.
What is BNI? I have no idea what that is.
Business National, and I forget what it actually stands for.
But BNI. I thought you said B and I. My bad.
I know. BNI. Yeah. So
like a networking kind of thing.
Networking. It's all about referral marketing for each other, that sort of thing. And I figure what I'm doing is helping small business owners, and guess who's in BNI, right? Cool, man. So that's that's pretty much my plan right now. Definitely open to suggestion for how to grow this.
I'm going to have some.
Absolutely. Pretty much on my site right now, I'm looking to book a discovery call, because again, the whole premises of this is I want to work with you to make your system better, and with that, I need to talk to you about it. So that's kind of
it makes sure it's a good fit too. Yeah. So starting to say, I've done this multiple times, and I've helped people do this, of course. So like, there's a lot of really good ways to like boost it, and actually, it's kind of cool because like this is some things I've been thinking about with the. Literally me and Jocelyn over the past couple of weeks have been talking about her next venture. And I am so mad that I can't say what it is though right now. I'm going to be building some serious hype for this. You know, I'm going to be involved in it a little bit. I'm going to actually take more of it's like I'm going to be taking like it's weird because like I'm going to be using my skill sets, of course, with it, but I'm going to be more like you. It's like I'm kind of like on the back burner with it, but like I think I'm going to end up like doing like videos for her and stuff because I can talk and stuff. But we've been talking about this, so it's actually super fresh on my mind right now.
Okay.
So I'll just go through each one of these, and if you got follow-ups, you know, maybe I'll just kind of rattle them off here, and then we can go down some rabbit holes here for a few minutes and see if we can, you know, come up with some strategies. You know, the first thing that I would do, and I would never discount the topic of this, is use your existing business to build the new business. You have to tap into the goodwill of what you and Nicole have built. Because like, for example, I know your email list size. I know your audience size. I know your membership size. I know that there's gotta be a percentage of those people who would probably need your services for things you're not even thinking about. Like, right. What if one of those nurses is an Instagram model who is on the weekends doing those Amazon Instagram accounts where they're showing Amazon things and making affiliate money. Yeah. But it's really confusing, right? There's probably a percentage of those people right now who would need your help, and they already trust Nicole.
That's right.
So your ultimate referral is the business that you already have. Like when we launched Jocelyn's thing, like I'm anticipating that, you know, because I know people write in to this day. Jocelyn's not been on the podcast in 3 years, and people write in all the time and say they miss Jocelyn. Like when we're gonna probably do a takeover for a few weeks of Flip Lifestyle to push people over to that, and so her podcast gets a couple thousand downloads in the first week. You know, so you got to lean into like your existing business. Now, how you do that you do it really strategically. You can do a takeover, like you can just say, hey, for 1 week, a quarter, we're going to like DanielWhitworth.com is good. Like Nicole Whitworth is going to push people to DanielWhitworth.com. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So try to find places where you don't really do a lot of marketing anyway. Like for example, if you're going on vacation or something like that week, you're not going to be doing a lot. You're just going to put everything kind of in automated mode anyway. So like, why not schedule 5 or 6 emails, post a couple of videos that schedule out on YouTube, like, and TikTok and all that good stuff, and push people to your discovery calls.
Okay.
And when you come back, you got a couple of things. All right. The second thing is like affiliates. Like you've got to have an affiliate program for a referral business, period. Like you've got to pay people to refer you people. Okay. So like for us, like, I mean, of course, you know, I'll promote you guys. That's why one reason you're here today, but like but set up an affiliate programming and spend time. Don't just wing it. Like have it ready. Like if you charge $1,000 and you can give $250 of that for people, then you need to be able, when you talk to other people, tell them, I will pay you to send me people, period. Right. Okay. Imagine if we reached out to like 5 to 6 of our friends and I was like, hey, Daniel would love for you to promote his thing. He's doing discovery calls now. Now listen to this next one. Dude, Daniel will pay us $500 every customer he gets if we will funnel people to his discovery program. That's a different conversation. Okay. All right, cool. So we got like existing businesses and affiliates. And then I'm going to come back to content, but I'm going to go back first to speaking. Bro, you're a preacher. You spoke for me. Like you got to get some speaking gigs, like, right? Like you got to like learn. If you don't want to create content, you've got to be on stages, right? So like how can I get on some stages where I can talk about systems? How can I use Kajabi, reach out to them and see if they're doing any live events? Like reach out to people, man, and see if you can get on stages. That's a great avenue. And then you don't want to be a TikTok star, but you could record your stage presentations and have a kid in your house cut that SHIT up and put it on the freaking TikTok account, right? And have Daniel Whitworth TikTok account. So you're doubling up like your things. And then also like friends. Like I would write down 100 people you know right now that are in this space. I would divide that by 30. I would reach out to 3 to 4 of them a day to see like if they need help or if they will become an affiliate. And I would just be like, every month I'm calling these 100 people one time, sending them a text, sending them an email, because referrals don't happen unless you stir the pot. Like people think that referrals are like, I'll just do such a good job that everyone will tell everyone about me. No, they won't. They will refer them when they remember you, and they will only remember you when you jump in front of them and offer them money to refer people to you. Right. So like those are some ways that I would like grow the business too. So what of that like resonates right now?
No, that all sounds good. Definitely, I hadn't thought about just promoting to our existing list for your nursing tutor, because guess what? Not all of them even became nurses.
Exactly.
Right.
Some of them started an online business probably. You know what I mean?
Who knows what they're into? Who knows? Like, they're not buying our product right now. So why not sell them another one, right?
Exactly.
That's good.
That's exactly right.
Okay. For the affiliates, I definitely like that. So would you say like reaching out to some of the big dogs that I've met through just our contacts?
Everybody.
Seeing if like, okay. So
how much what would I mean, I know it's by job, but you're gonna have to eventually standardize something here. But like what do you feel like you want to get your price point to?
Well, I would. So for small things, you're looking at least like if it's just like a 1 hour thing, it's going to be like $100 or something like that. But if it's going to be a whole system that I build, it's anywhere from 500 to 1,000 or more, depending on the complexity.
So here's how you actually need to calculate your jobs too. Let me help you with this. Pricing services should be always calculated on what's called an effective hourly rate. Okay. Now that you can figure this out in a lot of ways, right? Like, and I learned this from my mentor, James Schramko. Right now, my effective hourly rate is stupid because, I can walk out on a, stage with a stadium and, like, for example, I did a webinar for a guy the other day and I was pitching that product and I talked for 2 hours and made $40,000. Right. What my effective hourly rate is technically 20 grand, right? I mean, if I want it to be, right. And that's actually, it's managed by other things too. Like that's not really a true scenario because like I put more than 2 hours into that talk. Like I had to travel there and like things like that. But you can definitely, it's somewhere between like $5,000 and $20,000 an hour. Right.
Right.
Yours is kind of the same thing. Like at the beginning, for sure. It's like, like you can look at it like, well, if I'm all in over here on Nicole's business, I think that I can help make it $100 an hour. Or if I go on a sales thing with Shane, like I can work 10 hours and make 2,000 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you can totally figure out a range of that. So once you find that, what is the actual rate when you're doing something else? Right. For anybody that has a 9 to 5 right now, it could be like, well, I make $50 an hour. Well, then your first job should be, how do I make $50 an hour online? Right. That's your effective hourly rate. So if you want $100 or you think, well, if I'm working in Nicole's business 20 hours a week, I know I can generate $100 an hour. Therefore, this thing, I got to estimate it correctly, how long it's going to take. So if a job's going to take, 40 hours, then that's $4,000. Right. So that's how you're figuring that out. So that's your effective hourly rate. And then you have to figure out how much you're willing to give up of that for an affiliate. Right. Or you raise your rate to cover the affiliate cost. So if you come up with an effective hourly rate of $100 an hour, right, which is a good starting point, like then what you do is you raise that and you charge $129 an hour. And then you say, hey, I'll give you 25% of anybody you send to me. So now you've covered the affiliate cost in your effective hourly rate. You've raised it enough to cover that cost. Makes sense. Then you can say like, guys, if I do a $4,000 package, I'll give you $1,000. Like give them a percentage, but make sure you're working that in where you're not eating your own profit out too. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yep. So there's that. Yep. So there's that. The affiliates is a great thing. Now, speaking, that's a whole different ball of wax. That might be a whole other podcast.
Yeah. That definitely seems like a big challenge to me. Although in BNI, you literally are speaking in front of a group of people every week.
Exactly.
Like
right. And you'd be surprised, like what my buddy Scott Beebe does over at businessonpurpose.com. So that he runs I actually coach him on his membership, and he has an amazing coaching program. Like he's charging like $2,000 a month or something crazy. It's amazing, but he only coaches contractors on building systems. And how he's grown his book of business is, we were on a mastermind trip a couple years ago, and me and BB were just like jamming on stuff. And I was like, can you speak anywhere? And he's like, yeah, I speak at these builders conferences where all these contractors like show up and come in. And I'm like, well, do you ask the conference organizer to pay you with their names and emails? I'm like, charge them less. Don't charge them anything. Just show up and speak and just be like, I want all the names and emails. Everybody hears my voice. And it just exploded his business. Right. So getting on stages with deals like that are hugely cool. So it's like worth the effort of figuring out, like, if you do one of those a month and you get 20 leads, it's worth it. You may fill up your whole next summer of actual jobs.
I'll have to put some thought to that. And for sure.
So all you need is like, and a lot of these conferences, like FinCon is a lot of bloggers and YouTubers and all that, right? Dude, they take submissions, and if you'll do it for free, but a lot of them will let you talk. And you might get 50 people in a room, but all these speakers at these events aren't getting paid. Like like a thing like I do, like where you get paid to be talking is not normal, Right. Like most of the time, like if you go to a podcast movement and talk about the tech of podcasting, you go to FinCon and talk about running your blog more efficiently. You go sign up for go apply for like social media marketing world, right? Like I also know all the owners of these conferences, by the way. And like, so you can put me down as a reference, but like but like all these things, like it's not as hard to get on a stage as people think it is.
Yeah.
And if you have a solid strategy of how to collect information in the room and how to really serve the audience while you're there, like you can pick up a lot of leads. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of investment of time and treasure. But if you spend $1,000 to go to a conference and talk, and you come out of it with 4 good leads that pay you, $5,000 a pop, you traded a weekend for 20 grand, so totally worth that, dude.
Okay. No, this is good advice.
And then why no content? Why would you not become the TikTok guy? The world is right. Have you been to my seminar?
Yes.
Content is king, baby.
You are right. I could. I don't know. Maybe I will.
Dude,
go ahead. Tell me to do it.
Do it. You need to do this. All you got to do is like get a job. All right. And then ask for permission to record everything you do.
Yeah.
And then just when you're setting something up, especially if you're setting something up for them that you're going to give them a video of how to do it on their own once you hand it to them, just hit record. Don't even talk to the camera. Just talk out loud while you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? And be like, yeah, all right. So, to make this automation work, basically what I'm doing is I'm clicking here and clicking here. Now you can see this was 5 automations and I got it down to 1. It's pretty super easy. And post it. Get one of your kids to edit it and post it, man. It's like content is not hard,
That's true. That's true.
Man. It's super easy, dude. So those are some strategies, when you're launching a second business, it's less about having a great idea. And it's more about using your unfair advantages you've already earned.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake you can make when starting a second side hustle business or anything is don't start from zero. You're not at zero. Sit down for a day and write down everything you could possibly do, every relationship, every person, all the reciprocity that you can literally reach out to help you launch the other business faster. And then it will launch faster and you'll make more money and your family will have a nice factory of jobs for your 16 children. It'll be
That's
good.
Right.
All right, man. Good deal, dude. All right, Daniel, real quick. If anybody out there needs some help from you right now, maybe they're overwhelmed with all their tech stack. They don't have good systems in place. They're starting an online business and they just want to check out and reach out to see what's going on. Tell them how they can get a hold of you.
Just go to danielwhitworth.com. That's WHITWORTH, danielwhitworth.com, and book a call with me. I'd be happy to talk to you.
All right, y'all. That wraps up my interview with Daniel Whitworth, one of our star Hall of Fame students, one of our amazing people. Him and his wife, Nicole, man, they're just awesome people. They are the reason we do what we do here at Flip Lifestyle. We help people find and use their God-given gifts to go out there and start an online business. You've already got all the ideas you need inside of your head, whether it's your first business that you're starting, online business, or it's your second business because you're piggybacking off of success from all the hard work that you put in inside the Flip Lifestyle community. That's what we're here for, is to help people make whatever dream there is come true. Listen, we love husband and wife couples, but me and Jocelyn went through this too. We had one big thing that was working good. Then we sold that. We built another big thing that was working good. And now we're both doing different things so that we both have an identity. We're both entrepreneurs. We're both building different things. And like, hey, if you know how to build an online business, why not have 2 or 3 of them? So you've got different income streams coming in and you've got even more safety and even more protection for your family. That's what Daniel is going to do. And I hope that's what you do too. So whether you're trying to build your first business, your second business, your next business, or you're just trying to scale what you've already got, we can definitely help you inside of the Flipped Lifestyle community. To learn more about everything that we do to help people just like you make money online, make their entire income working from home, all you have to do is head over to flippedlifestyle.com. You can see all the cool things we're doing right now. We've got live trainings happening all the time. We've got on-demand resources. We got free stuff for you over there. So if you need any help making money online, head over to flippedlifestyle.com. That is all the time that I've got for this episode of the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. Until I see you again, get out there, take action, and do whatever it takes to flip your life. Shane Sams is out.